there. Quarterback is number X, Ja'Cory Roll Jr. is going to be slinging it for Eat Speed as we're underway here in the 8U matchup. Roll Jr.'s first pass isn't completed. Hit the chest of the receiver. Just wasn't able to haul it in, so it's going to bring up a second down.
Kind of getting those jitters out the way. Roll Jr. was one of those quarterbacks we saw this morning where he was, he was dotting them up, and that was one of the basic routes that was kind of in the concept plan for Eat Speed.
You take a look at the huddle there. That's head coach. Coach Mills is the head coach for Eat Speed and the signal caller lining up his guys. Their defensive coordinator is Coach P, as well as the two stout men that are going to be leading these young student athletes early in their student athlete careers. So second down now for Eat Speed, lining up at the 40. Puts a man in motion from left to right. Roll Jr. drops back, passes is completed. First completion of the day is going to go for about 5 yards, but now a 3rd and 10. They got to get down to the 25 for the next first down.
You can tell what the game plan is for Eat Speed, to kind of eat up the middle with mesh routes, 5-and-out routes, kind of just short intermediate throws, kind of keeping it on schedule. Like you mentioned before, Adam, they got to get 10 yards to keep the sticks alive.
As you see there, the defense for Dartm Up all lined up, got their heels on the line to gain, protecting that gain. If they're able to get a stop here, you get points as well. Defenses are rewarded with some points here, only at DR7. So Ja'Cory Roll dropping back again. Pass is completed. Let's see if he's tagged.
But he did get
He
to
tried
the
to turn
line.
upfield. Did he hit the line to gain?
And it'll be a turnover. Didn't get to the line to gain, so that is 2 points added for Dartm Up.
Great job. He had green grass, just wasn't able to get there. But great job by the Dartm Up defense. Again, they were right there protecting that line, and it paid off there. So, yep, get a little rundown of some points. Defenses are rewarded. 2 points for a stop. You get 3 points if you get interception. But if you do have the chance to run it back for a pick 6 as well. Offense scoring is similar to Friday night's, a touchdown, 6 points with the extra point pending. You get 1 point try from the 5, and then 2 points from the 10. So Dartm Up now back or on offense now for the first drive. That's head coach Barron Smith leading the way for Dartm Up. As you see, quarterback now is number 6. It's going to be Corbin Christian. Will be taking the snaps from the tee. Christian's first pass is completed. Receiver cuts back inside towards the middle of the field, finding green grass. And it gets a decent gain to move the ball. Already nearing half the distance to the next line to gain.
And you can see their coach right there, regardless of it being a completed pass. Coach telling him, get up the field. Don't go east and west. Go north and south. Try to get as many yards as you can before you get tagged down.
So second down now for Dartm Up. Lining up with 3 receivers to his right, 2 to the left. Christian looking to his left, throws, got to man, and it's completed. Great pitch and catch right there. Great location right there by the receiver to find a gray area in the defense to secure that for a second down.
Yeah,
first down.
That was really good by Ira Bragg there to kind of fill that empty zone, and good read there by Christian to zip it in there, and that's a first down for Dartm Up.
So Dartm Up already moving downfield flawlessly, already halfway towards the end zone. Again, first down, need about 10 yards to the next line to gain. So Christian dropping back to his right, now throws left again, and it's completed an extra few yards after the catch as well, moving downfield flawlessly.
And going back to Bragg right there. It seems like Christian and Bragg has found a connection. First trip into the red zone for either team, so we'll see if Dartm Up can cash in and strike first blood.
Dartm Up lining up quick. Pretty fast offensive movement now for this 8U team. Quick plays are called out from the huddle from Coach Smith. So Christian takes his snap, rolling to the right. Quick pass is completed. He's going upfield. Got green grass. Race to the pylon.
It's a touchdown.
And there is Dartm Up, all downfield for the first touchdown of the day. And our early lead now, 8-0 for the team from Georgia.
And that was just really good stuff for the first drive for Dartm Up to basically get momentum from the turnover, get 2 points, and then go down the field flawlessly. Outside of the first initial incomplete pass, that drive was perfect. So really good stuff. They'll elect to go for 1 here, trying to get a 3-possession lead.
So going for 1. My correction on the ruling, 1-point try is from the 3. So offense is lined up, moves his receivers. Christian looking to his left, scanning the field, throws towards the right middle. Oh, out of reach. Had his receiver there, just overthrew him. So the score will remain 8-0. Dartm Up leading early. And CJ, already that drive, you said that was a flawless drive. They went perfect, no incompletions until the last one. But still a great job. They find the end zone right there by a young 8U squad.
Yeah, that was really impressive by Dartm Up. Corbin Christian, Ira Bragg. I thought that, was the connection right there to lead them into that score, of course. But ultimately switching gears to Eat Speed now. They've kind of been in this position before in 2025 in the national championship as well. Can they kind of, battle back and get that momentum back on their side? We know in the 8U ranks, really once you get that first touchdown lead, it's kind of, hard to get back into the game. So we'll see what a team like Eat Speed can do here.
The second drive now for Eat Speed. Next first pass of the play is completed, and we do have a flag after the catch. Looks like it might be for unnecessary roughness on that tag. Also need to mention new quarterback has checked in for Eat Speed, number 15. That's Colton Pollock. Going to be slinging it as well. Again, like we said, we saw that warm up, and we did see, Ja'Cory and Colton were the 2 quarterbacks, in the warm ups, taking reps on both sides. So a little 2 quarterback system for Eat Speed.
Yeah, 2 quarterback system. Trying to find some type of momentum, like I said before. They get kind of like a break right there with the unnecessary roughness. First down and maybe about 10 yards, a little less than 5-10 yards to go, but just have to continue just to eat yards or try to make a drive here.
Want to take advantage of that penalty, and the next pass is completed again. And a great turnaround right there by the receiver to get downfield to get the next first down. So another fresh set for Eat Speed.
So really good stuff by Eat Speed. And Pollock just kind of, you see on the DR Sports Network replay right there, Pollock getting it over the middle to his receiver. Like we said, that's another set.
If I'm not mistaken, I think caught the number 25. That was Devondre Powell Jr. on that reception for Eat Speed. So first down now for Eat Speed, halfway down to the distance to get to a score. Next pass is completed as well. A great job by the Eat Speed offense. After the first drive turned into a turnover, it looks like, they turned a page now and have completed 3 passes straight.
3 passes in a row and about 3 yards to pick up another fresh set of downs. And Eat Speed they're alive right now.
So Christian rolls out to his left, throws into some traffic, but it's going to be incomplete. Hit a couple of hands, just no one able to haul it in. So nothing to get too worried about. It's going to bring up now second down. So now let's Eat Speed. They're getting inching closer. A couple more yards. They can get into that red zone and regroup and try to get on the board.
As you can see, just overall the size difference between Dartm Up and Eat Speed offensively and defensively. Eat Speed is a lot, compact in size. They might try to play into the name and throw them east and west. You see short right here.
And that pass is completed. Even though it's short, it is enough for a first down. So Eat Speed is into the red zone. So now they get to reset. 3 plays to go in this red zone. They can smell the end zone and see if they can taste it. Needing to get on the board here to keep this game within striking distance. We're nearing 16 minutes to go in this 8U matchup.
And you see right here, got trip to the left with it inside, kind of like right in the backfield there. We'll see if they go inside again. Only about 7 yards to go into the touchdown line.
So Colton looks and fires,
and
it's intercepted. And no run back, and that's going to be 3 points added to the Dartm Up score, and they take the lead now 11-0.
And that was a crucial mistake there by Pollock and Eat Speed to get a red zone turnover. And like we said, 3 points you see on the DR Sports Network replay. Like Colt on the name of his back of his jersey just kind of fires it in there. And then just Dartm Up, try to get the official number on there. Just get the interception right there. And that's 3 points added to the total, making it 11-0. and they get the ball back, trying to increase their lead.
I caught that number. That was number 16, Case in Worlds on the interception to extend the lead. Now Dartm Up has a chance to really separate themselves from the competition with the score here in the opening game. So second drive now for Dartm Up on offense. First resulted in a touchdown. Ooh, what a move after the pass is completed. And he's going to turn, go east to west, and go north to south. Naked man miss. No one's been able to tag him. There he goes down the sideline.
He's going to go all the way.
He's racing.
He will. Touchdown, Dartm Up. He broke like 3 defenders down.
Great speed right there by the young man. Literally ran across the whole field to score.
And I'm telling you, that was one of the best plays here so far in this tournament, the championship. And I'm like, he broke 1 defender down, 2 defenders down.
Skirted
on the sideline. You see right here.
Let's see. Put the brakes on him. Made 1 fall. Makes 2 miss. Going down. 1 dives. Not tagged yet. Another dive.
And then he just kicks it into high gear at the end. And the touchdown for Dartm Up.
And wow, what a play. 1 play is all it took for Dartm Up to score. And now they're going for the extra point. A 1-point try. Quarterback releases, and it's caught into the end zone. But we do have a flag on the field.
Illegal shift, illegal motion. So it'll negate that. So the score will remain 17-0. But, yeah, nonetheless, man, that was a really good play by, Dartm Up and that receiver to just, really break down that first defender, outrun 2 defenders, reverse field, and get in there for 6. Great play.
Yeah, our apologies, numbers are hard to read on these jerseys, but still a great performance right there on that play.
Yeah.
But now Eat Speed, they gotta get a score here to keep this game within striking distance. 17 up now for Dartm Up. If they're not careful here, we could reach the point of a mercy rule that could come into an effect.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Adam. They're in the danger zone right now with, a potential stop. 6 points, 3 points, put them in quite some trouble.
So next play on the first play of the third drive for Eat Speed is going to fall incomplete. Wasn't able to connect the receiver. So now a second down coming up for Eat Speed. All right, we saw this offense, so we see what they could do. Move downfield, flawlessly. Obviously, 1 play, show the speed, but this Dartm Up defense, though, suffocating, able to lock down when it comes down to it when need be.
Yeah, Dartm Up's defense, it kind of starts with the inside, right? So even when, they're trying to look down the field as they do right now, overshot them, but it really starts in between those inside backers, inside the hashes, and the deep safeties. Like, Dartm Up is playing really fundamental style defense, not letting anything get over the top of them, and then clamping down on it, coming down, and rallying to the football on the inside. So that's really good stuff and really good coaching from the Dartm Up 8U staff.
Yeah, I was going to say, just by off of that play, you see, even though Eat Speed goes deep, but even though he has a tender receiver, it doesn't seem like the Dartm Up defense is just always hip to hip with each receiver.
Yep.
So Eat Speed now third down,
and you see right now this is textbook football. Line them up at the goal line. Don't let them get in front of you, or don't let them get behind you and play up and rally to the football.
Need a first down for Eat Speed to keep this drive alive. Going deep across the middle, it's going to fall and hit the turf. Incomplete. So 2 more points added. The defense stand out today so far for Dartm Up, and now they take the lead 19-0. And like we said earlier, CJ, this is that danger zone. A score here, it reaches them into that mercy rule effect.
Yep, and if you're Eat Speed right now, you're thinking, hey, we gotta blow our backs right here. Like, you can't let another drive hinder us from possibly getting mercy ruled right now.
So Dartm Up on offense for their third drive. See if they could cap this one off with the score and possibly end this one early, as we're nearing the 10.5-minute mark of this one. Throws a deep ball, has a receiver just out of reach. Great idea. And, it was a great job by the receiver to slip right behind those defenders.
You see right here on the DR Sports Network replay, Corbin just kind of out of the outstretched hands of his receiver. But that was really good work by the receiver, working his way and understanding what it was again, what the defense was giving him, and working his way past that safety, knowing that the safety was cheating his eyes in the backfield there.
Dartm Up now on second down. Corbin Christian looking for the receiver, throwing left, has his receiver, but it's going to fall short. Almost intercepted as well, as their defender came in, crashing in, trying to steal that one. So now, for the first time today, Dartm Up faces a third down.
And if you're Eat Speed, this is where you build momentum. I know you're down 19-0 right now, but look at it. It's 9.5 minutes left to go in this game. There's plenty of time, but you can't get a 19-point play. There's no such thing. You got to get off the field here and then work your way momentum-wise down the field to possibly get a score. That is the game plan. Get off the field, try to execute on offense, get a score. But right now, have to worry about getting off the field on third down.
Need a big stop here for Eat Speed as Dartm Up faces third down. Christian looking, fires, and the pass almost intercepted, but it's batted down. Great job by the defense. Eat Speed keeps their hopes alive in this one and is going to get their first points of the game, but still trailing 19-2.
And right now, Eat Speed had to have a sense of urgency as well. That's something that I had missed out on saying last time, but they have to have a sense of urgency with this drive. Can they push the ball, press the ball down the field? A lot of their concepts have been underneath. It's time to go. It's time to get that 1 to 2 play shot right here. Can they do it?
And Eat Speed showed their speed on this drive. Need to score quick. A misfortunate play right there, incomplete, as the receiver's wide open. And now a second down. So Eat Speed again, time not on their hands at all. Even though they have a big deficit to come back from, you still want to get into the end zone. Keep this one as close as possible.
And down at the bottom of the screen, I kind of peeped one of the receivers here, McCory, number 3, bottom side receiver, and he was definitely kind of streaking down the field, so he might be the guy that they go to late in the game to try to press the ball. He's now singled out to himself.
So Colton takes his next snap. Pass is completed. And he's going to be tagged after maybe a yard or so after the catch. So now it's going to bring up about a third and 9. Still need a first down to keep the drive alive. Dartm Up has a chance to get those 2 points back if they're able to get a stop here. Again, textbook defense all game long from Dartm Up. You see they're already lined up on that line of game, keeping everything in front of them. Coach Mills giving up his final plays and lineups for this third down play. Pollock dropping back, looking. Pass is caught. That's going to be enough for a first down after he tagged immediately. So great job by Eat Speed to keep the drive alive and get to reset the downs.
And that was just a really good, ball placement right there to kind of put it right on the receiver and really, the receiver contorting his body, making sure that he possesses the football and not, make a crucial error in dropping the ball on 3rd and 9. And like you said, Adam, fresh set of downs, still within striking range, still within distance of trying to put it in reach, but got to put points on the board here.
Yeah, for the offense, you want to, build momentum. This is their first game of the day, so, offensive score here, can build that momentum into their next games as they have a couple of more here on Saturday. So Colton takes his next step, pass is completed, turning upfield, a couple of yards after the catch. And that's number 25 on the reception, Devondre Powell Jr. I believe that's the second or third reception today, so a great job from this young man, this young receiver, able to contribute to his offense.
And now being right there at the sticks, you think underneath, but this might be the time that Eat Speed take the shot.
Eat Speed passes, completed a quick pass. I believe that is enough for the first down. Pass was completed, number 2, Taylon Bethea. So first and goal now. Or correction, number 2, Jamal Cook Jr. for Eat Speed.
And like we said before earlier in the broadcast, that's kind of been the bread and butter for Eat Speed's offense. Kind of hit the underneath stuff and ultimately depend on the receivers to get the yards after catch. So it's first down, fresh set of downs, right in the red zone, low red zone, got to get a score.
And checking in at quarterback is number 8, Nazir. That's big money Nas. And his pass is completed for a completion for about a 4-yard gain. So second down and goal now for Eat Speed. So getting close to that end zone. Gonna want to punch it in as we're getting close to the 2-minute mark of this one, of this 8U pool play game. Eat Speed versus Dartm Up. Savannah, Georgia versus Miramar, Florida. So second down now. Receivers are lined up, getting the final calls from Coach Mills. Nas looking for his next receiver, looking for the end zone. Pass almost intercepted by Dartm Up. But it hits the turf, incomplete. Now a third and goal, needing to score here to cap off this drive.
You see on DR Sports Network replay, Dartm Up just once again inside of the field, in between those hashes. They have been locked down defenders.
So big momentum here. Eat Speed wanting to score, but Dartm Up defense knowing that they want to not give up a touchdown and keep that stat under their belt in this one.
Essentially a shutout on offense.
Nas puts his receiver in motion from left to right to scoot him in. Looking for the receiver towards the middle of the field. Throws to the back of the end zone. And not going to be completed out of the reach. And that's going to be a turnover on down. Dartm Up capping off, finishing that drive themselves. And now we're going to lead 21-2. Under a minute to go.
And like we said before, Dartm Up doing pretty much anything and everything they wanted to do in their first pool play game in this 8U matchup here at the Crown. Offensively, defensively. I mean, Corbin Christian has been on the heater. We've called out Casey Worlds, called out a lot of guys on both offense and defense of this team, and this looks like a team here in the 8U ranks that we're going to have to pay close attention to all pool play.
All right, Dartm Up back on offense, looking for a home run, ball going deep.
And he gets it.
Completed. Almost broke away from that one. And that's about a 20-yard gain off of one play.
And that would just about wrap this game up as well. Really good ball there by Corbin Christian. But they're hustling to the line, trying to get one more play off, maybe trying to get one more look at the end zone here and some celebratory, first win stuff.
Looks could possibly be the final play. Offense is looking for someone. Pass is going to hit the turf, incomplete. And yep, there it is. That was the final play. Final whistle. Icing on the cake right there as we saw the final completion by Dartm Up. And they take a commanding win, 21-2. And like you said, CJ, essentially a defensive shutout from the Dartm Up defense. They didn't allow a touchdown all game.
Yeah, I mean, didn't allow a touchdown all game. Eat Speed got close there in the late window of the game. But I think that ultimately you just got to kind of brag about what our Bragg did in that first drive, getting that touchdown, of course, with the quarterback Christian Corbin there. But, I mean, that's a ball club right there in 8U ranks where, they're kind of up there with some of the other teams that we've seen in the 8U ranks too. But, hey, man, that's a dominating performance. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing out of Dartm Up there.
Yeah, Dartm Up, I mean, lived up to the name. Offense was great. They had 2 touchdowns, only 1 turnover that stopped them. But, again, defense to me just stood out. Again, a shutout, big interception by Casey Worlds as well.
Yep.
So, again, just great job by this 8U team. And as, you look at the score, it seemed, a big separation. You might say a blowout. But, I mean, we still had fantastic plays and eye-openers here early. And, I mean, that's just a little taste of what we could see for the rest of the day. But that 8U game is complete. Again, Dartm Up caps it off 21-2 over Eat Speed. And, CJ, that's only the first one. We still got 7 more games to go. Just give a little. What are you looking forward to in the next couple broadcasts?
Look, I'm really looking forward to seeing this next game right here between the Woodlands and TMS. TMS, of course, has been a dominant team here in Florida as well, and the Woodlands traveling all the way from Texas. Where are you from? Can't wait to see it. 10:45. Don't go anywhere. This is the DR Sports Network. What's going on, everybody? My name is CJ Gilbert here with the DR Sports Network. It is the Crown National Championship here in Kissimmee, Florida, Austin Kendall Complex. Man, we got 8 teams on tap. Yeah, a full slate of games, 9 to 5. I hope you brought your bootstraps. I hope you laced them up because it's time to work. DR Sports, Crown.